Hi everyone, it's your digital influencer, and I hope we're having a good one. Amazing week for me, so much development in a positive direction, so much research, and a lot of work has been done to be able to give you a very compelling video today. Basically today we're going to be talking about being more, and we're going to illustrate that using a bottle of water, a teacup, which is obviously way smaller than the bigger one. I'm going to explain how we can get to the level of the bigger teacup and be able to take in a lot more water, right? Great. So I once had a colleague who turned out to be some sort of a mentor, indirect mentor to me in the office, and he basically told me, put me through the analogy of becoming more, and there was some sort of an illustration he put together, but I'm going to redefine that, and like I said, using what we have on the table. Now today in life, people talk about progress, people talk about being successful, people talk about being more, people talk about giving their best in terms of what they have to do. But the truth about it is that you cannot give what you don't have, and in order to be able to give a lot more, in order to bring a lot more value to the table, you have to personally develop yourself. Say for example, in life, the bottle of water represents our ability to take in content, our ability to research, our ability to learn new tricks so that we can deliver these things in return to our businesses, our family life, and just life in general. Now, if for example Mr. A is the small teacup, right, there's a level or there's a limitation to this teacup, right? What is basically the limitation? I will show us that. This is basically some of the good stuff life has to give us, and when I mean the good stuff, I'm talking about things like good health, great family relationship, whether you're an entrepreneur, good businesses, or you work for somebody, you're climbing on the ladder. This is Mr. A, who has a basic limitation. What is the limitation for Mr. A? The limitation is basically the size of the cup. Now, if you're going to relate this to an individual, like I said, you cannot give what you don't have. So if you want to be more in life, you have to be thinking about changing this cup to a bigger cup. Now, Mr. A goes to the fountain of life and requests for the good stuff of life, basically. We open the water. The fountain of life basically answers our request. And Mr. A takes the cup, he pours the water, and keeps pouring and keeps pouring. Guess what? The water starts to spill on the table. So basically, what am I saying? Mr. A has gotten to his limitation capacity. So meaning that if he could give a lot more to people, once he gets to this level, he can't do anymore. Now, what am I saying? If you apply personal development, if Mr. A applies personal development to his life journey, he would basically put in the three pillars I keep talking about, which are mental, physical, and spiritual. That basic application to his current status would transform him into a bigger cup with a lot more limitation. Basically, what does that mean? Mr. A has personally developed himself and has been able to move his life to a new spectrum and increased his level of limitation. Basically, he moves from one angle. Guess what happens? He pours the content of his previous life into his current life, and guess what? There's still a lot more space in there to be able to take in more from the fountain of life. Mr. A now goes back, having redefined, having re-engineered, having redesigned his life through personal development. Guess what? He pours in a lot more water, and guess what? He has a lot more to bring to the table. Now, this cup can even get to a lot more bigger size, and the size and limitations continue to increase in line with your personal developmental journey. I'm your digital influencer. I hope this brings value to you. A lot of work was put into it to be able to, tell this story. I want us to be able to watch this video, or if you're listening on the podcast, to be able to assimilate what personal development entails. I'm all about bringing value. I hope this meets you well. And like I always say, let's be all we can be. Have a great one, guys.